Alright, welcome, you crazy motherfucker, to my fourth episode of my stats videos that I'm doing personally for you. I once again apologize for the unprofessionalism of these videos, but I'm only doing them for you, and I figure, hey, you're on the platform, you don't care about the crazy thumbnails and the crazy effects and whatever, you just care about the stats, the facts, and whatever I did to get my group past the point of no return. I apologize if I sound like I'm stupid because I've had about a good bottle of whiskey. If you watch my live stream of episode 4, right when we got to the whiskey part, I was like, damn, I really want some whiskey. So right after I finished the episode, I went out and I bought me a bottle of triple distilled Irish whiskey called Proper Number 12. It was brewed in Dublin, bro. Very good stuff. Very, very smooth. Almost as smooth as Scotch itself. I know you're only 20, so you can't legally drink. Air quotes around the word legally. But, but, um, where's it going with this? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the stats. It's all over the place. I'm sorry. All right. So as you can see, I have stats for episode 4. I streamed it earlier today, and here it is. Give you a minute to soak that in. All right. So pretty much, and remembering what or how you played the game or how you played the fourth episode when I watched you last night or yesterday, whatever. It was this morning probably, I think. Um, we had it was really weird. It was 3 the same and 2 different, pretty much. I think. Yeah. Yep. 2 different and 1 and 3 the same. So this episode, very, very mixed. Very mixed. And I'm going to go through them right now and explain to you why I did what I did. And I'm going to try to provide with some insight as to why I did what I did. Alright. So, for the first choice, it was all about the boy in the attic. And the question was, did you kill the boy in the attic? Now, I'm not sure if this number is different than yours, because I remember you're playing season 1 on the, by its own. Like, I'm playing season 1 from the definitive version. So, it may be different. So, this is probably, I guess, like the truer, I guess, of the versions, but for some reason, for my version, myself and you and 25%, that's a quarter of players killed the boy. Now, I'll have to go back and rewatch yours because I think the stat was different, but you gotta remember again, we're playing on 2 different games. But I'm trying to figure out why the hell 75% of players would let Kenny kill that kid, or alternative, if nobody kills him, then Krista ends up killing him off screen. You both leave the attic, and then Krista takes care of him in a certain way. I'm not sure how it plays out, but if you don't decide, or if you're indecisive, Krista ends up doing it herself, which I thought was like, wait, what? That's kind of bizarre. Like, why? That makes no sense. I mean, first of all, the reason why I killed him was because, number one, that just really upset me. Some little boy trying to survive by himself for however long he did, and you could tell, dude, how he died of malnutrition. And like Lee said, he probably died of dehydration before he starved to death. He ran out of water pretty much. Which, bro, can you imagine that? Can you imagine being to the point where you have no water? Like, I personally, I don't like drinking water by itself because I think of so many different things better to drink. But I have never been without water in my life, and I'm like six years older than you. I'm not sure about you. I'm not sure about what you've been through in your life, but I've never been without water. I may not have wanted to have it at that time because I wanted something else like Gatorade or pop or juice or milk. I drink more milk than water pretty much. Like when I try to be healthy, I drink milk. That's what I drink. But I can't imagine going through that, man. And like Lee said, that could have been Clementine if you didn't find her when you did. Can you imagine that, bro? Like, can you imagine if you weren't around Clem's neighborhood when you found her? She could have starved to death, and that could have been her being discovered by some random person showing up in her house to find asylum. But again, you and I did the same thing, so that was that. I'm not sure why everyone else did it the opposite, but whatever. Those people are fucking stupid. Like, fuck them. Like, fuck them, you know? Alright, moving on. Ah, yes. The old Hippocratic Oath, as this choice likes to pertain to it. Did you lie to or threaten Vernon? Which, this was the first one in this episode which you and I were like, we were opposite. You were calm. You were reasonable. You tried to smooth things over, i.e., pussy. Oh, sorry. Pussy. Has something in my throat. You tried to do it like that, and it worked, I guess, but I tell you, Vernon treats Lee a hell of a lot differently if you lie to or threaten him. I threatened him. I was like, you're gonna point a gun at me? And there was that fat cunt in the background was in his ear talking about, oh, he's from Crawford. Kill him, Vernon. Vernon, kill him, you know. I was like, fuck you, you fat cunt. You know? So I was like, fuck both of you people. You're in a goddamn morgue, it seems, underneath a hospital. I'm gonna threaten you, and if, like, you know, because, why not? Why not? Sorry, I got the hiccups. It's a lot of whiskey. Alright, my bad. This is so unprofessional, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's so unprofessional. David, what's wrong with you? David, what's wrong with you? Are you serious? Oh my god, Jesus Christ, you know. Sorry, man, that's not me mocking you, that's me trying to imitate you. Are you serious? Head ass. Ha 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 ha. Bro, have my cock in your mouth. Fuck, god damn it. Alright. But I get why. Actually, you know what? I don't get why you did that. I don't get why you try to be a pussy. Like, why the hell would you be like, you know, you're by yourself, right? Right? They assume you're from Crawford. Which, by this point, you know Crawford is a bad place. Because whoever you are, as long as you don't have an advanced medical condition, you're not a child, or you can you can pull your own weight, you're good. So you show up as like a 37-year-old, you know, dude by himself. Why not use that fear to make them do whatever you want them to do? And that's exactly what I did. Like, personally, I could care less about any other group than my own. And I'll tell you why. Because the first group that came upon us was the St. John brothers. So how do I know every other group that I come across doesn't harbor that same kind of, maybe not ideologies, but maybe they're trying to fuck me over? I'm not saying that every single person I come across they're going to be cannibals, but maybe some of them are murderers, thieves, marauders, or bad people that know how to lie very well. That's the problem I think that you come across, bro. You tend to take everyone at face value in this game, not thinking about the underlying, circumstances or consequences that may arise from trusting the wrong people. So that's why I did what I did. And of course, I'm in the minority. Whatever. Fuck it. Who cares? But, I mean, I didn't care he was some old man waving a gun at me. When I saw him trembling his hands, I knew he was going to shoot me. So that's when I used that fear. Because they were living in fear, man. They were living underneath, Crawford pretty much. Because before, they didn't know that walkers had overrun them. They didn't know that Crawford was gone and dead. How would they? They've been underground for so long. Again, use that fear. Use that, I guess, status quo, if you will, to propagate my own agenda, which was getting out of the sewers and getting back to my people. It worked out for me, but your way also worked out for you. So I guess we're both in the right. However, again, Vernon treats Lee very differently if you decide to threaten or lie to him. You were honest, you told the truth, and you were reasonable, so he was all buddy-buddy with you, and so was Bree, that fat cunt who you call on Destiny in your videos. I don't know why you call her that. But fun fact about her, she was actually, her likeness was actually a real likeness of a fan who had won a contest. I think it was either a photo or a video of why you should be in the game or something, and she was the likeness of the fan who had won. But that's also why she got killed off very early on in the episode. She was only around for a short while, and then boom, whatever, she was gone. But that's why she was prominent in the episode, and then she was killed off. Anyway, moving on. Oh yes, the whole entire being home alone notion. At this point, bro, you were being like hostile towards Clementine, so I was thinking to myself that nah, you're not gonna take her with you. You're not gonna take her with you. You're gonna leave her behind and leave her with Omid, and hopefully that, and whatever. And you're gonna run the risk of Omid, dying while you're gone, and Clementine's trapped in the house with him, and she has to deal with Omid as a walker by herself, her own way. I was pretty adamant that you were gonna go that way, but you didn't. You did not, and what you did was very interesting. You and I took her with us, and that's the majority, at least in this case, at least in my game. 55% of players brought her with us, which means 45% didn't. And also, trivia about that choice: if you bring Clem with you, you automatically save Molly. What that means is, I'm not saying Molly dies, but if you don't bring Clementine with you and you get to the part where Molly is being attacked by walkers and you don't personally shoot the walker that's attacking her because Clementine's not with you, she will get left behind. Like, she won't get bit, she won't get, like, you know, killed or whatever, but she'll be put in a position where she'll be overrun by the walkers and she'll be like, go, leave, go, go, and then she'll get left behind. And then we never hear from her again. So, if you want to kill off Molly, maybe, or whatever, there's that. But anyway, moving on. Ah, yes. For whom the bell tolls. For whom the bell tolls. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I did what I did with Clementine because I wanted her with me. I did not want to leave her in the house alone with Omid. I thought maybe he was going to, like, come back as a walker and kill her. Or she would have to deal with him a certain way. I didn't know. I felt like it was better to bring her with me and have Omid by himself in case he died. That way we come back and we're like more ready for it. But that was my thinking. I want her with me. I trusted her a lot more than Krista, than Vernon, than Molly, and I trusted Kenny. But like, I knew I needed someone else to watch my back, pretty much, and that's why I brought Clint with me. Moving on. The fourth choice, and again, bro, again, I hope we continue this trend because it's been happening for the last 4 episodes. The fourth choice, either we are opposite or we're the same. And again, we did the right thing and we rectified our group getting killed. That one fucker that was responsible for us getting caught, for all of our group getting killed off, or half of them at least, the important people, we killed them off. And I loved how we did different versions of it. If you watch my version, maybe if I'll go back and I'll do like and I'll clip like that part of the stream and I'll show it to you. But I prefer my version. I literally held his life in my hand and I said, "Fuck you!" And I just said drop, and I just like dropped him like he was nothing. Because that's exactly how he treated my group, and that's exactly how he treated Clementine when he left her to be killed in that street. And as you can tell, as you can see, we were only 3% shy of the majority. But, okay, I get that. It's still a human life. And the underlying aspect is that, do you want to be like Crawford? Do you want to cut off the person in your group that's a drain on your resources? The one who's not competent? The one who's not a survivor? And I'm thinking to myself, yes. Fucking hell yes. Because the competent people around me, I may not like them, but they still harbor a strong sense of survivalism that I can use to my own benefit. So I didn't give a fuck about Ben Paul. Because it was because of him that half the group got killed. And to explain that further, I'll tell you why. If he didn't start giving supplies to the bandits, if he didn't start putting supplies in a baggie and leaving them on a grate outside the wall, Lily wouldn't have been suspicious about the whole entire thing, and she wouldn't have noticed the count's off, and she wouldn't have noticed that some things were missing because she has Air Force training, and she's in the Air Force, and she knows stuff. She wouldn't have sent Lee out to investigate and poke around. Lee wouldn't have found the grate. Lee wouldn't have found the bag of medical supplies. The bandits wouldn't have attacked the group because They didn't get their last supply or the last shipment, which means if the bandits hadn't have attacked the motor inn, the walkers wouldn't have attacked the motor inn too, drawn in by all the gunfire and all the noise, which means that Duck would not have gotten bitten. Meaning Lily wouldn't have lost her goddamn mind and dome capped Carly on the goddamn head. Everything that happened to your group, to our group, in the span of a week was all thanks to that fucking pissant shitbird Ben. That's why I'm so fucking glad you rectified all of your past transgressions and you decided to let that motherfucker die. Because I was waiting for you to puss out. I was waiting for so much for you to puss out. I was like, oh, you're gonna develop a conscience. You're gonna be like, no, I'm gonna. It's still a human life, whatever. Blah blah blah, blah blah fucking blah. It's a video game. That fucker deserved to die. Moving on. Yeah. This was, the bite reveal. The bite reveal, yeah. So, this is where we deviated once again. So, we deviated once in the beginning and then again at the end. I was very surprised that you decide to cover up the bite. And I think it's because you're a bit younger than me, and you're still kind of like a kid. Not really a kid, I mean, no, all due respect. But it's like, you know, oh, I got caught doing something wrong, I gotta hide it. Or, oh, shit, I got, you know, fucked up, I gotta hide it. But I'm not sure why you decided to hide the bite. What benefit would that do to you, man? From the second you're bitten or scratched, you're on borrowed time, which means you don't know how your body's going to react to the bite or scratch. You may think you're invincible, you may think you're God or whatever, but have you ever been so deathly ill you couldn't get out of bed? I have. And that's kind of what I feel like getting bitten or scratched would feel like. Being deathly ill, but actually you die from it. Like having pneumonia times the flu times having your bone broken. Man, I'm not sure if you've ever had a broken bone, but I would assume that it would be that excruciating and that hard to deal with. So why wouldn't you tell Krista, Omid, and even Kenny, who you've been with since the beginning of this whole entire outbreak, what really happened? And you can see why a lot of people decided to show the bite, because they knew, and myself included, that at first, bro, I didn't know if I was just imagining that happening or I thought it was a dream. I thought everything was a dream or something. I was like, what? At first I didn't get it. I was like, because I thought that, like, you know, during the animation where you pick up the radio, it did seem like the walker bit him. But I thought, oh, whatever. I shook it off. And then I saw the blood on the cap, and I was like, wait, that wasn't there before. Was that the walker's blood? And then I started hearing, like, the, no, 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 oh, fuck. And then I saw the marks, and I was like, holy shit, the Lincoln bit? But I didn't have time to fucking process it. I didn't have time to process it, man. All I saw was hide the bite, show the bite, and I was like, I saw them walking towards me. I was like, they have to know. They have to know. Those three are the only people right now that I can rely on. So I was like, I decided to show the bite. And it was awful. And I think Kenny's reaction upset me the most of all. Like, for you, I remember it was like Krista asked, whose blood was that? And you responded with, "It's a walker's." Fucker jumping from behind, and then you moved on to the conversation. With me, it was, "Lee, whose blood is that?" I turned around, I looked at her, and I said, "It's mine." And then I showed her the bite. And I remember Krista was like, "Oh my god." And then Kenny was like, "No way. No. No fucking way." Like, he was almost like he was about to break down. It was like, it was awful. It was just awful. And I remember the first time I played that, I was like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't ask them for help. I didn't ask them for, I didn't ask them, hey, come with me or whatever. But I didn't say I'll go alone. I didn't want to go alone because I knew if I had died on the way there, first of all, no one would know. Nobody would know about it. Clementine would still be gone, and those other three would have no idea what to do. So I was honest with it. I was like, I don't know what to do here. Like, can I even ask for your help? I swear, I remember this vividly as I was like, I was a teenager, man. I was a sophomore, man. And I remember Krista told me, "Lee, we're a team. That's how we got it this far." And that was what the catalyst was for having Krista and Omi come with you. Those two are a twosome. The only way to get them to come with you to help look for Clementine is to reveal the bite. Or have Clementine stay behind at the house when you go to Crawford and leave her the gun. That's also another way to get them to go with you. But you didn't do that. We didn't do that. And then there's Kenny. His dialogue is different times 3. Unfortunately, I should have saved the fucking you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna probably send you a screenshot of the stat page, and I'll do it like that. But the only way to get Kenny to come with you to help out is for you to have backed him up at every single possibility, with his family, with him, and with everything else. Which is why I really thought he wasn't going to go with you, because you fought him on the train, and after his family died, you kind of became an asshole, an ass to him. But I guess since you helped out his family when they were alive, and you were with him a lot in the beginning, he overlooked that. You see, the other two options were that he would be like, "Lee, man, you know I care about Clementine, and I am a Christian man. But I gotta ask myself, if this was me, asking you to put your life on the line, asking you to stick your neck out, would you be there for me? Because there's been a few times when you haven't been." And then a dialogue would happen, and you would have to choose between either saying, "Kenny, I need you. Clementine's my family," or "Go fuck yourself." The only way to get him to come with you at that point is to say, "Clementine's my family." And then he'll talk about his family and then everything else, and then that's the only way he'll come with you. And if you're totally against him from the beginning, where you didn't help out his family, where you didn't you didn't help him out at all, he'll be like, "I don't know what you're looking at me for, Lee. You haven't helped me once since I've known you, so fuck you." And that's like the opposite choice. But I'm glad that at least one person went with you. And I think it doesn't show it